So we can almost say there are 5,000 holes in the away end in Blackburn, Lancashire. Hi, my name's Mike. Welcome to my vlog about football in general and all things Burnley FC in particular. A vlog which reacted to the news that Mesut Ozil had announced his retirement from professional football by thinking back to about 3 years ago at the turf, when he really couldn't be arsed even back then. We're on an international break, so there is not so much to report in terms of actual events on the pitch, but I guess the big story this week has been the allocation of tickets for the forthcoming derby game away at Ewood Park. Now, this is the rearranged game after both clubs managed to make it to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Both clubs managed to get knocked out by Manchester City players. So the game had to be moved, and it was moved to the end of April, a Tuesday night instead of a Sunday, which has all sorts of knock-on effects and repercussions. But one of the more interesting ones, the news was coming this week that Clarets have been allocated 2,000 tickets for their travelling supporters. Now, normally for this match we can probably expect, I can't remember the exact number, but it's around about 7,000. So we have 5,000 tickets in an empty away end. So we can almost say there are 5,000 holes in the away end in Blackburn, Lancashire. Now, there's been the kind of predictable response to this, but I'll kind of get to that in a minute. There's been a bit of a dilemma around the schedule in this game, because normally these games are scheduled to keep away from adding something on top in, say, a relegation fight, a promotion fight. And Clarets are likely to, if not be champions by that point, then actually perhaps even gain the title with a win at Ewood Park. So that puts a hell of a lot more importance onto these matches, and it's not supposed to actually happen. The police are probably relieved by the fact there are only 2,000 travelling supporters for this game. Now, they have sort of said that they would be happy with the normal 7, but you've got to think that they are actually relieved by having to deal with fewer travelling Clarets fans for that night. But ultimately what this comes down to is there's been a lot of noise. Alan Pace put out a statement saying he's disappointed with the allocation. There's been all the sort of to and fro on social media about this whole thing. But it just comes down to one thing. Blackburn do not want Burnley fans going to Ewood to, perhaps for the first time in history, see them win a Champions title on their patch. And you can't really blame them. I can't blame them. I'd be upset if it was going to happen at the turf in reverse circumstances. This could be the sort of thing that we can hold over them forever. So Blackburn are quite, I think, legitimately within their rights to make it as awkward as possible. I don't have a problem with this. It's petty. Yes, it's unreasonable. So's a football rivalry. Every football rivalry is petty and unreasonable. The only thing that's kind of disappointing me is this kind of elevates some of the tactics that have been used by the old firm, or as I prefer to call them, the Ugly Sisters up in Glasgow, where there is a tit for tat on attendances. The 2,000 number is, that's how much we give Blackburn, or around about how much we give Blackburn for travelling to the turf. The difference is that about 2,000 is about the away allocation for once you take the sort of safety and the policing into account. We're not going to build a bigger away end, to hold 7,000 people. What happens when you build your stadium too big for your attendance? You've got Ewood Park, basically. Blackburn have decided that they're going to miss out on approximately £150,000 worth of ticket revenue for this one match. So, from a business sense, it doesn't make any sense. That's the point. But they've decided that that's what they're going to do because they don't want so many fans coming down the M65 to celebrate on their patch. I don't really have a problem with that. They have even, in fact, been quite smart about it, Rovers. They have announced a 5-game package, which includes the Clarets match, for £99. And they've made it open to everybody. Now, predictably, there are Clarets fans who are paying the 99 quid to go to one match. And they're going, ha ha, we're going to be sitting in the home end. Well, you know, the Blackburn are going to be going, ha ha, thanks for the 99 quid. You know, you're not as smart as you think you are, especially if you think you're going to sit in the home end on a derby game and, you know, sit on your hands all for 90 minutes. So, you know, ultimately it's yet another sort of story or you know, flap over nothing. You understand why they're doing it. Like I say, I don't particularly blame them. So, you know, how should Burnley FC react? Well, one suggestion that came to mind was, you know, opening up the turf to, say, 15,000 people, charging a fiver to get in, and, you know, putting it on the big screen. Well, you know, I don't think logistically you're going to get the big screens all set up in time. I'm not sure you actually want to put the big screens up on that pitch while the season is still ongoing. I'm pretty sure that would probably ruin the pitch for the last few games. Presumably the club are going to open up the fan zone. I think the capacity's there, 750, 1,000 or whatever. And that will be a great atmosphere in there, especially if the championship is, you know, title is riding on it. It will be a great atmosphere in there. But, you know, this is just the way it goes. Just watch it on Sky Sports, listen to it on Clarets Plus. You don't have to be there. All we can do is, you know, hopefully if it happens, you know, we just sit back and we be smug for the rest of time. Because, as I say, this was never supposed to happen, and it's the cherry on top of a remarkable season that something that was never supposed to happen could actually happen. And, yeah, we pick up the trophy on their pitch, and those photos, like Nathan Teller's photo in the earlier fixture, but that photo could be there forever, hung on the walls around Burnley, and that's absolutely great as far as I'm concerned. So that's it for this particular one. If you like this kind of thing, please click like. If you really like it, click subscribe. I don't play the YouTube algorithm game. I don't push this a lot on, you know, other social media or whatever. So if you want to see more videos as they come up, there's another one I'm going to be doing shortly on Everton and FFP. Then please click like, please click subscribe, leave a comment down below, and until then, up the Clarets.